And good morning to everybody around the world. Welcome to Lanzarote for the 2024 Summer Challenge. Bienvenidos a todos a Lanzarote por el Summer Challenge de 2024. Vine gente de toda Europa aquí para competir en el competición más top de España. This morning has started quite cloudy for you guys at home who have never been to Lanzarote and you know it for the summer and for the great weather. It does have a habit of starting a bit cloudy. You can see that the athletes are a little bit nervous and they're excited to start the day. And we are ready for event 1. So we'll be starting in 5 seconds. So to explain for everybody at home, the first event is for the men 2,000 meter row, women 1,500, 300 meter swim, followed by a 3K run. Para empezar, nosotros tenemos 2 kilómetros de remo para las mujeres, 1,500, 300 metros de nadar y luego 3 kilómetros de correr. La cosa muy importante de este evento es, con el remo no gana nada, pero puedes perder. The thing that's really important about this event is that maintaining a rhythm on the row, because the thing is, you're not going to win this event through the rowing, but if you can maintain a good pace, you put yourself steady. What they're trying to do now is just maintain a rhythm with the rest of the competitors and not jump too early. Muchas veces es muy difícil cuando el primer evento de una competición, todos los atletas tienes muchas ganas para saltar y va rápido. Pero la cosa importante ahora mismo es mantener un ritmo y tienes recuerdos que es un día muy largo con muchos eventos. To explain again, this is a premium CrossFit event in Spain. Athletes have come from all over Spain and all over Europe to enjoy this weather. You might be seeing, at the moment it's a bit overcast, which is very common for Lanzarote in August in the morning, but throughout the day the weather will definitely clear up. So far you can see that the athletes are just trying to take their time on the row, not rush themselves too much, and they're just kind of conscious about that swim. And as I alluded to before, no one is going to win this event through the row, but they want to just make sure they don't get left too far behind. So you can see our first athletes then now making transitions. La cosa que es muy importante que las transiciones entre los atletas son muy suaves. So the transitions are super clean and smooth. So over the next few days, the athletes have so many events to do that they just want to be conscious to preserve their energy at the minute and not go too hard too soon. The field of athletes this year is really international, with over 1/3 of the athletes coming from outside of Spain, but still with the majority of the athletes coming from the Canary Islands. Los atletas ahora, ¿estás pensando en la natación que está cerca? Recuerdos, es 2.000 metros por los hombres, 1.500 remo de mujeres, luego natación de 300 metros y después correr 3 kilometers. So just to explain that again for our English viewers, we have a 2,000 meter row, followed by a women 1,500 meter row, followed by a 300 meter swim, and after the 300 meter swim, we'll be having a 3 kilometer run. En papel, este entrenamiento puede parecer bastante fácil, pero recuerdos, estos atletas de CrossFit están muy acostumbrados a las gimnásticas y levantando los pesas, y a veces cuesta un poco más este tipo de entrenamientos más cardio, digamos, or with more of a triathlon feel to it. You can now see some of the athletes are fatiguing a bit. Some of the rowing strokes are not as long as they were before, pero la intención está ahí, y poco a poco viene más gente aquí para animar a los atletas. They're getting close now. The athletes now start thinking about the swim they have ahead. Now our top athletes are getting towards finishing that row, and they'll be starting to think about the transition over to the swim. The transitions are still happening now. You can see the stroke rate of the rowers has slowed down to a steady pace. I think with the excitement of the day, a lot of the athletes maybe jumped the gun a little bit and started rowing a little bit too fast, but you can see now they're settling into a rhythm. La vi ahora, la gente remando, ahora tiene un ritmo más consistent. You can see in the shoulders, they're getting a bit more fatigued now as we approach towards the end. And despite how fit all these athletes are, even the best athletes in the world, when it comes to a 2 kilometer row, it can be extremely fatiguing. As we approach, los atletas están preparando para la parte de natación. They're starting to prepare for the swimming component of the event. Recuerdos para explicar por la gente que justo llega ahora, el evento es por los hombres 2 kilómetros de remo, mujeres 1500, luego 300 metros de natación en mar abierta y luego 3 kilómetros de natación. Our first athletes are slowly making a transition. Ellos necesitan mucho cuidado porque esta inspiración de architecture o de Fils Monrique está muy guapo, pero para caminar no es tan cómodo. So poco a poco los atletas están approaching. What I alluded to before, they weren't really too worried about the rowing pace. This is when we'll be separating the men from the boys a bit more with the swim. Los atletas poco a poco están bajando y entrando al mar. And slowly but surely, they're getting in the water and starting the swimming component of the event. At the moment, you see everyone's very mindful about their pace. No one's trying to go too fast. Recuerdo, es 3 días muy largos este evento y la gente necesita, they need to keep that in mind. Remember, this is a 300 meter swim. It can sometimes feel like 3 kilometers. So it's a 300 metros natación. Los atletas ahora están en la mar. Y este evento tiene muchos socorristas y todo está muy bien planificado. So no hay duda para nuestros atletas. Ahora vamos para ver la gente que... So what we're going to see in this event now is the athletes who are maybe stronger swimmers or maybe have a stronger cardio base will find this event a bit easier. Remember, across the weekend, we're going to be testing various disciplines. You'll be seeing event 1 today. It's a bit more of a triathlon-inspired type of event. Para recuerdos, it was a 2-kilometer row for the men, 1500 for the women, 300-meter swim, followed by a 3-kilometer run. And to explain a little bit how the day will be unfolding. At the moment, we have the scaled men heat, okay? And soon, in 5 minutes, we'll be starting the scaled women's heat, okay? Followed by, at 8:30 local time, the intermediate men, followed by the masters men, then intermediate female starting at 9, the RX male at 9:15, followed by the RX females at 9:30, and that will conclude our morning and the first event here. Now the swimmers are approaching towards halfway. They'll soon be turning back to start the last leg. And to mention that again, it's a 2-kilometer row for men, 1500 for women, 300-meter swim, followed by a 3-kilometer run. The 3 things don't seem that difficult, but when you put them together, it would definitely be a difficult morning starting for the guys, especially that 2-kilometer row. And what you can notice now with the athletes swimming, it's a really varied level in the technique. You see the guys at the leading the peloton at the moment. You can see the stronger swimmers, while maybe some of the athletes, they might be fantastic on the barbell or the gymnastics, but the swimming component is a bit more difficult. But I'm sure those guys are looking forward to catching up with the other competitors at the barbell. So this event is taking place in Arrecife on the island de la FERMINA. It's very beautiful, very picturesque, Feza Monrique inspired. As beautiful as it does look, it is difficult for some of the athletes to get around because everything is painted white, and as beautiful as it looks, it's not really great for walking between the rowing and then later into the swimming leg. Los atletas poco a poco vamos para terminar la natación y después de natación ellos tienen 3 metros de correr. And slowly but surely the women are getting ready to start their heat. So in this event there will be a little bit of crossover. While the boys are just leaving the water, the ladies will be starting the rowing component. So the ladies will be starting in about 1 minute. So para recuerdos, el evento para las mujeres es 1500 metros remo, 300 metros natación y luego 3.000 metros de correr. El evento en papel parece sencillo, pero la verdad es algo que es de mucho cardio y vamos para cuesta mucho nuestros atletas. Recuerdos, es un fin de semana muy larga y es la primera evento de muchos. And also slowly but surely the clouds are moving away. One thing about Lanzarote, there's always great weather, but typically around this time of year it can start with a little bit of cloud cover and will slowly move away. The boys had a bit of a breeze earlier while they were on the rower, but it looks like that has disappeared somewhat, and they will have, the girls will be having no breeze as they start their event. Slowly but surely, the girls are getting ready and the event will start. In 20 seconds, the girls will be starting. Y los primeros de chicos, terminando la natación, the first of the boys are finishing their swimming and slowly making their way up to the run. In 10 seconds, the girls will be starting. And the girls are now starting the rowing component. Just really important not to go out too hard. As I alluded to earlier, the thing that's really important in these workouts, you can't win the event on the row, but you can definitely lose it. So what you need to do is just be mindful of that and try and keep pace with everyone and not waste too much energy on the rowing component. Looking at our athletes, you can see some fantastic technique on the rowing, long strokes. And slowly but surely, almost all the boys are now out of the water, starting to run, and the girls are well on their way, moving through the 1500 meter row. Recuerdos, este evento está en Arrecife. El Summer Challenge 2024 es uno de los eventos más famosos de CrossFit y de Functional Fitness aquí en España. Vienen atletas de todo el mundo, pero casi todos de Europa. and es un evento genial. You can see the first transitions now happening on the rowing for the women, slowly but surely. And it's almost like a game of chess at the moment. No one really wants to kind of move too forward at the moment. Everyone's just trying to be a bit more defensive because, as I alluded to before, being extra fast on the rower in this event really doesn't pay dividends. So a little bit of an explanation of how today will be going. There'll be events throughout the whole day. Empezando la mañana a las 8, the men started. At 8 o'clock, the guys were starting. The women started about 8 minutes ago. And that's heat 1 and 2. The intermediate men will start about 8:30. The masters all going to plan 8:45, followed by the females at 9, the RX males at 9:15, and then the women at 9:30. We'll then take a short break for a few hours, and then we'll be moving to Puerto Deportivo de Marina, where those events will be taking place between 12:30 and 3:30. Poco a poco, las mujeres siguen con el remo, and you can see they're slowly moving towards the swim. There's a really good turnout today. At the moment, I'd say there's hundreds of spectators who have made the effort to come down on this chilly morning. Maybe not chilly by UK standards, but by Islas Canarias, un poco fresco. It's a little bit fresh this morning, but it's really great to see so many people out here making a big effort to support the athletes. Está muy bien para ver tanto gente de Lanzarote bajando para ánimo a los atletas, los mejores atletas de Europa. Estás aquí hoy compitiendo aquí en el Summer Challenge. And the ladies will slowly, well, I shouldn't say slowly, but they'll soon be finishing the rowing component, and after that they'll be moving into the swimming component. So for the people who have just joined us, for the women it's 1500 meters on the row, 1500 metros de remo, 300 metros de natación, 300 meters of swimming. Y suena fácil, 300 metros de natación, pero la verdad es la cosa más difícil, el cosa más chungo para nuestros atletas. Y después 3000 metros de correr. En el próximo minuto 2, las chicas seguro terminan el remo y empieza poco a poco, empieza corriendo. Our men will be well on their way in the run now, moving towards finishing the event. Okay, the first girls will soon be coming off. Will soon be coming off the rower and moving into the swimming component. The thing about rowing, a lot of these athletes will be making a bigger effort to use their legs a little bit more than their arms, because if there's too much fatigue on the arms, moving into the swimming component, that could really hinder their performance. So slowly but surely, the crowd's really getting behind the girls now. There is a tremendous atmosphere. And the first girls, they're just going to be careful. The first women are coming down for the swimming component. Very similar to the men, all finishing at a similar time. They just want to be really careful as they walk down the white cement. The Fezzo Manrique inspired artwork, as beautiful as it does look, it's not that good. So similar to the men, the field are at a similar distance. Slowly but surely, the athletes are moving down towards the swimming component. And remember, the swim is 300 meters. 300-meter swim, followed by a 3-kilometer, followed by a 3-kilometer run. So the ladies just finished the 1500-meter row and now moving into the 300-meter swim. Las chicas justo terminan la remo de 1500 metros, terminan hasta de 1500 y ahora poco a poco mueve hasta 300 metros de natación. No veo muchas ganas, la verdad, en la cara de chicas para la natación, pues algo que necesita hacer. So slowly but surely they're getting to the swim. Some of them a little bit more excited than the others. Algunas con un poco más ganas que el otros, and slowly moving towards. So they just finished 1500 on the row. They're now doing a 300-meter swim, followed by 3-kilometer run. So soon we'll be starting the intermediate heats. Y ya, la natación está a tope. Nunca es fácil la natación y menos después de 1500 metros de remo a tope. So por eso los atletas va ahí hasta el 3000 metros de Corea, until they do the 3000 meters de Corea. 3 metros de Corea. Sí. Y ahora preparando la próxima tanda. Para explicar, la próxima tanda es el intermedio hombres que empieza en justo 5 minutos. Después, los intermediate males will go into the masters. That will start about 8:45, all going well, followed by the women at 9, and then the RX, the big dogs, los perros grandes, los hombres. Vamos para empezar 9:15 y the RX women at 9:30. La cosa que es muy guay de este evento, viene muchos niveles de atletas de toda España y Europa aquí para competir. Los atletas de Scaled, bueno, hoy en día Scaled no es como Scaled de antes, son muy bien atletas también, y también la división de Intermediate Masters y de RX. So slowly but surely, the sun is peeking out from the clouds. I think it would be somewhat of an advantage for the athletes that got to leave a bit earlier, because in the next 15-20 minutes, as the sun slowly comes out, you will notice it will be a little bit more difficult for the athletes. And slowly but surely, the intermediate athletes are moving towards the rower, and they are getting ready for the next event. And slowly but surely, the athletes are getting ready for the next component. It'll be really interesting to see the difference between our scaled athletes and our intermediate athletes, because I think they'll probably get off the rower. Maybe, it might not seem like a lot, but a minute and a half, a minute faster than their scaled athletes beforehand. So over the next few days, there will be various events that will be challenging our athletes. So just to explain a little bit, event 1, as I've mentioned a million times already, but just for the people who have just joined the stream, what they're currently doing, 2,000 meters row men, 1,500 women, 300 meter swim, then a 3K run. Event 2, that will be later today at 12:30. That will be a time cap of 12 minutes. It will be 8 rounds. I go, you go. So that means that one partner will go followed by the other. 10 ground to overhead. That could be clean and jerk. That could be snatch. 40 kilos for men, 25 kilos for women, the scaled. 10 handstand push-ups and 10 pull-ups. It sounds easy, but that will get the heart rate going. As we move into the intermediate, the repetitions remain the same. The men will be doing 50 kilos and the ladies will be doing 35 kilos. The pull-ups will then be changed to chest to bar for the intermediates. For the masters, that's athletes over the age of 35. They'll be doing 10 grounds to overhead as well with 50 kilos, 10 handstand push-up and 10 chest to bar pull-ups. For as we move on to the RX athletes, what they'll be doing is 8 rounds, 10 ground to overhead, 50 kilos and 35. But what they'll be doing, which is a little bit different, is 10 strict handstand push-ups with no ab mat. So what does that mean, no ab mat? Great question. It means they'll be doing it from the floor, going up, then 10 bar muscle ups. And that will be event 2. That will start today in the marina between 12:30 and 3:45. Later this evening, we'll then jump into event 3. Okay, and this is something which is short. It's an AMRAP which is 6 minutes, 50 burpee box jump overs, then max jumping bar single unders. So that'll be really interesting to see and to see how those athletes go there. And that event will take place between 4:10 and 6:20. So the sun is slowly but surely peeking out between the clouds. There's really festive atmosphere here. Poco a poco el sol está aquí. Hay un ambiente super guay. La gente de Canarias siempre gusta una fiesta y el Summer Challenge, es una de las mejores fiestas aquí en la isla. Bueno, una de las mejores fiestas en todas Canarias. So the intermediate people are slowly warming up, they're getting ready, and the fans are slowly arriving as well. I'm not sure if our cameras catch it, but there's actually a pretty good crowd here, you know, so it's great to see. Anyway, the intermediate athletes are getting ready. So to mention a little bit as well, what event 4 is. Okay, event 4, which will be between 7:30 and 10:30 this evening. That will be, well, before I go into that, we'll just give the intermediate men the attention they deserve. So you can see they start their time on the rower. Y la verdad, se nota la diferencia de scale de intermediate, un poco más ganas para empezar rápido. Y estos atletas tienen muchísima experiencia de remo y ellos sabes, para empezar con un ritmo que pueden mantener es la cosa más importante, porque luego hay natación de 300 metros y después la corre de 3 kilómetros. Y la cosa de este entrenamiento puede engañar en papel, puede suena bastante fácil, pero la verdad no es fácil. Y va a ser el primer evento de muchos hoy. So, no te vayas muy lejos, que si no te pierdes la conexión. So siempre aquí, okay. So, what I mentioned before this evening, the last event for today, the last event will be between 7:30 and 10:30 at night. Lucky for your commentator that I get to, I'm here for a long time, but it's what I love doing, so no problem there. Minute 0 to 3 will be max reps of squat cleans. In the scale division, that will be 60 kilos for men, 40 for women. In intermediate, that will be 80 kilos for men, 50 for women. Masters 80 kilos. And how that event will go will be 0 to 3 max reps of squat cleans, and then minute 3 to 6, the other athlete will do max reps of snatches. So it'll be really interesting to see what our athletes can do during that time. And that will complete day one. Para explicar, hoy hay 4 eventos. Ahora mismo estás haciendo el cross triathlon, 8 hasta 9:30. Luego el 12:30 hasta 3:45. El segundo evento en la marina. Después el 4 hasta 6, jumping in the fire event. Y luego el último de hoy. Okay, slowly but surely, our men are coming in on the run. You know, as I alluded to before, after the 2,000 meter row, the 300 meter run. So the athletes, at the moment, the intermediate athletes are on the rowers. You can see they're trying to maintain a rate without. It's a bit like a game of checkers. I guess they don't want to go too hard too soon because it's really the swim that will separate the athletes. So you can see the athletes slowly moving in. The men are finishing the run. There's some fans coming in at the same time. They're just in front of the Grand Hotel that they're entering. Okay. And it's really fantastic atmosphere here. Heaps of spectators have come from all over the Canary Islands and all over Spain to enjoy this weekend. And you can see the intermediate men really giving it their all, really pushing through. Ahora esta es la división de hombres intermedio. Ellos justo ahora hasta remando. Yo creo todo sale de agua de las mujeres de Scaled y los hombres de primera tanda. Vamos para terminar justo ahora. It might look easy, but the rhythm these guys are rowing is no joke. They're really, really going at it, and they're trying really hard, maintaining such a good rhythm. You can see the athletes just peeking from the side of their eyes, just making sure no one goes too far ahead. They're probably rowing somewhere about an 80 or 85% capacity, just leaving a little bit in the tank because the swim is slowly coming up. As you can see, there's a fantastic crowd here. There's heaps of people who've come to support their friends and family, and a lot of mutual spectators. Here in Lanzarote, the Summer Challenge is a really well-known event, and the whole island gets behind it. Aquí en Lanzarote, el Summer Challenge es un evento que toda la isla gusta y mucha gente está aquí para apoyar y para ayudar el evento como avanzando. You can see in the running component, the athletes most of the women now are coming towards the end of the run. Are coming towards the end of the run. So slowly but surely, okay. You can see the guys, you can see a bit of fatigue. They're trying to do the transitions nice and smooth. So it might look very simple, but the transitions between the row, it's definitely a skill in itself. And slowly but surely, the intermediate men are moving towards the end of the row. So it's really a fantastic day. The planning and the organizing behind this, it's really a team effort from the town hall, el ayuntamiento que ayuda con el evento, but there's so many people working really hard to put this event together. So you can see as the RX athletes get prepared, where we can anticipate more and more people coming to watch the event. So for a lot of people watching this stream who have never been to Lanzarote, they might be unaware that Lanzarote normally gets between 2 and 3 million visitors a year, and the majority of those visitors coming this time of year in July and August. So it really creates a really great atmosphere. So now moving on, the men are slowly running in towards the swim component. They just need to be a bit careful with the floor here. Es muy guapo la trabajo de Cismo Enrique para correr, no es perfecto. So por eso, nice and slowly, the guys are coming off the rower, and moving to the run component. And as fast as they can, moving to the swimming component. You can definitely see a bit more hustle between the different divisions, between the scaled and the intermediate men. Ahora casi todos los hombres están fuera de remo, casi todos estás empezando la natación. Este evento, casi seguro, la gente que nada más rápido es la gente que gana el evento. Porque la cosa de remo, la cosa de correr es algo parecido hasta un punto. Pero la natación es la cosa que es separación de los atletas. Y solo 300 metros de natación suena fácil, pero en mares abiertas, después de 2000 metros de remo, esta quema. Y seguro se nota también la diferencia de scale y los atletas intermediate. Es un poco mejor la técnica, la natación. You can see that they're a bit more smoother with their strokes, they're a bit more profound, and they're definitely swimming at a faster rate compared to a lot of our scaled athletes. Slowly but surely, they're moving towards it and trying to maintain that rhythm. So slowly but surely, next athletes, they'll be starting in about, just to confirm, I don't want to give you guys misinformation, but in about 5 minutes, we'll start our master male division. That will be heat 1 and 2 at the same time. So the difference between masters athletes, so masters, that means athletes over 35 years, and intermediate means athletes of any age. So the difference in capacity really isn't that different, especially here in Europe, with the majority of fitness and CrossFit athletes leaning a bit older. So it'd be very difficult with the naked eye to tell the difference between the intermediate and the masters athletes. So veo ahora imágenes muy guapos de gente nadando. Nuestro equipo está trabajando a full para presentar estas imágenes de más alta calidad. Ahí atrás el Gran Hotel es un hotel muy famoso aquí en Lanzarote. Y la cosa de Lanzarote es muy estricto cómo puede montar las cosas, y el Gran Hotel es la única hotel que es este tamaño. Slowly but surely the athletes are moving forward. You can see in the background the Grand Hotel, which is connected to the marina. And for our athletes, this is such a privilege to have the opportunity to compete in this location. On the island of Lanzarote, this area is quite protected, and not just anybody can come around here and use these waters. So it's really awesome that we get the opportunity in the Summer Challenge to do the events here. The rhythm of the athletes is being really consistent, and you can definitely tell the difference between the scaled and intermediate athletes, how they're going. They're working really hard to maintain that pace and moving forward towards the swim. You can see the athletes here neck and neck. It's almost like a game of cat and mouse. They just want to tail each other and just make sure that they're not giving too much away. So it makes it really interesting how they're going. So slowly but surely, they'll be moving towards the running component. You can see the athletes getting a little bit more fatigued now with the swim, but these images are amazing to see how everything is moving forward. Slowly, but the swimming is continuing here with intermediate athletes. They're working really hard. Slowly but surely, more and more people are arriving here. Slowly but surely, more people. Okay. Now, with the running component, we're seeing a lot of our women slowly coming towards. They just need to make sure that they don't hit the pedestrians as they go past. But our women are finishing now the running component, and I think this is our first lady. This is our first girl. She's coming through, and she must be very happy with her time because she has done fantastically well to do that time and maintain that effort. So she has definitely put herself in good stead as the weekend goes on. So justo ahora termina nuestro primero chica. Ella justo ahora está disfrutando el tiempo ahí con su coach y sus amigos. Está muy bien. Okay. She's the first to finish the triathlon component. Y recuerdos para la gente que justo llega el stream. Para los hombres 2.000 metros, mujeres 1.500 metros de remo, luego 300 metros de swim y después 3.000 metros de correr. So these are really amazing images that were provided. The men of the intermediate standard are slowly arriving, coming through now, and they'll start their running component. Typically the thing that separates a lot of the athletes. And now we have our second female athlete coming through. She's done fantastic well to maintain that time, and she's definitely given herself a competitive advantage as we move through the events throughout the day. Our athlete number 3 has arrived as well. We'll work hard to get those names for you as quickly as we can, so we know who those first 3 athletes are. But you can definitely tell that they don't mind a swim or a run because they have created a lot of space between themselves and the rest of the field of the athletes. So the swimming component, the intermediate men are slowly coming off into the run. That transition period is super important to make sure that they can maintain that rhythm and move towards a run. Esta parte es muy importante, la transición de natación hasta correr. Como yo dije antes, la parte de remo, todos casi parecido. Natación un poco separado. Y luego, si tienes esa separación, el objetivo es mantener durante la parte de correr. In 1 minute, the intermediate men will start. Sorry, pardon me. In 1 minute, the masters men. In 40 seconds, the masters men will start rowing. And remember, here it's quite prestigious, the masters event. They really are top level athletes who push the standards of what we know fitness to be. So how it works is they'll be rowing, then slowly walking around the corner, and then going straight into the swim. Now. And the men on the rowers are starting, you see them quickly running around the corner, trying to get that competitive advantage and getting onto the rower as quick as they can. Now back to the swimming component, we see, I think this will be our 4th female. She's finishing now. You can see these amazing images running past the fans as she comes to collect 4th place. Again, she's done a terrific job to finish in 4th. And in these events, and especially these type of competitions, it's not about winning the event. If you can be somewhere, if you can be somewhere near the top in all these events, that's what you've got to do. So la cosa de estos eventos, normalmente no es la persona que gana los eventos, pero la gente que está más cerca, que tiene la ventaja en los eventos. And now we can see the rowing. They're trying to set a really good pace here. This is our masters athletes working really hard. Again, just trying to play a little bit of chess. Keep being mindful of what everyone else is doing, making sure they're not falling behind, but just trying to maintain a pace before they move into the swing component. slowly, the temperature's definitely picked up now. While going into the running component, we have our 5th place female who's coming in now. She's done a terrific effort to finish in that place. And you can see these images that are provided here. She's done a terrific job. So I think what we'll see now is slowly the majority of the main field will be finishing, but it was definitely an amazing effort by those athletes to create such a distance between themselves and the rest of the field. Now back into the rowing, we can see our masters athletes. Our masters athletes are maintaining a rhythm that will go. Now we can see another athlete coming in now. I think she's glad to see the finish line, and slowly but surely cascading more athletes coming in there. As you can see, the Grand Hotel behind us and the beautiful scenery of Arrecife. And they're just coming in now, maintaining a good rhythm and coming through. A lot of them seem extremely happy to see that finish line. And for the people who have just joined the stream, the ladies did a 1,500 meter swim, a 300 meter, a 1,500 meter row, a 300 meter swim, and followed by a 3-kilometer run. All those components weren't too difficult, but when you put them together, and we have another female athlete coming in now to finish. And their next event, now we have a field. I'm sure these ladies work really hard pushing each other along to maintain that place. They'll have a bit of a rest now. The next event for them will be at 12:30, between 12:30 and 1. And that will be taking place in the marina, okay? Puerto Deportivo de la Marina. And those events will start between 12:30 and finish sometimes at 3. Now moving back to these amazing images of our masters athletes on the rower. Estos son los masters, pero no parece súper fuerte y casi fuerte como los chicos como de 20, 25 años. They're doing really well maintaining that rhythm, pushing hard on the rower. And again, we now have these images of our runners. This is now kind of middle of the pack, and they're doing well to finish. The weather here is slowly turned perfect. There's a bit of a gentle breeze, not too much else to comment on. If I was myself to do this event, I think these would be the type of conditions you'd want. It's still a little bit overcast, providing some protection for the athletes. But in the next hour or two, I think that will definitely change. The forecast for today is to be somewhere around 30 degrees. And the thing about Lanzarote, 30 degrees can mean different things. If there's no breeze, that can feel like 40, but if there is a breeze, it can feel a little bit less. Now moving back to these images of our masters athletes on the rower, just maintaining a rhythm. Ahí los atletas de masters, okay? Veo ahora justo una transición. La cosa que es muy importante con estos atletas es la transition, okay? It might seem very easy, posible parece súper sencillo, pues algo que ellos practican mucho, pero tienen la cosa muy bien hecho. Our ladies now slowly finishing the run. They're doing such a fantastic job, and it's such a festive atmosphere here at the Summer Challenge. Everyone's having a good time. The athletes, the supporters, and if you haven't been, it's definitely worth a visit. As you can see, with our runner in the distance, that is where the rowing is take place, and the athletes create somewhat of a loop. They do the rowing here on the island, then they swim back to the mainland of Arrecife, and then from there they do a 3-kilometer round track, and then they come back here to the FERMINA. I want to mispronounce it, so I'll make sure I don't mispronounce it, but it's César Manrique inspired. For the people who've never been to Lanzarote, César Manrique is a huge influence on the island, and that's why everything has been painted white. it's definitely worth a Google if you don't know too much about him. I won't go too maybe it's a long day. I might go into it. We'll see how we get on, but it's definitely worth a read. The men will slowly but surely be approaching the end of the rowing component. Poco a poco los hombres vamos para terminar el remo y después del remo tienes 300 metros de natación. So our first men are coming off the rower. They're moving now towards the water. This is our masters men. They just want to be super careful running down those blocks. But as I mentioned, si remo super rápido, gana 5 segundos, casi no compensa. Es más importante, tiene su energía para esta parte de natación. The men are slowly coming down and they're going to start the swimming component. So this is where it's really going to separate this event. The guys who swim fast, the guys who swim. This will be the difference in this event. These guys all row about a similar pace, running a little indifferent, but it'll really be the swimming that separates it. The guys who get the event win and the guys who don't. And slowly moving in towards the run. And you can see them slowly but surely. Now these fantastic images as our as our masters. I always get confused because they're such strong guys, these masters athletes. You can see them moving in. As I mentioned before, they've got to be really careful on this right Fismonrique floor, and then they slowly move in towards their swimming component. The water looks very still, but as you get a bit further in, I wouldn't say it's choppy, but there is definitely a bit of a current. The water is definitely moving a bit, and so it does create a bit of a challenge before they start the 3 kilometer run. And you know, in these events when they're swimming, people who don't particularly like swimming or aren't particularly great runners, they are somewhat conscious of that, and they try and preserve their energy for the other events. So we have the images now of our masters athletes swimming. You can see some fantastic technique, and the athletes who really love the water, you can definitely tell. Smooth strokes, moving forward. And the swimming component is only 300 meters, but 300 meters in open water can sometimes feel a lot more than what it is. In the background, you can see the Gran Hotel, which is bastante famoso aquí en Lanzarote. Es el hotel más famoso. It's moving past. You can see on the boats surrounded, we have a lot of lifeguards, and the athletes are definitely very well looked after in this event. So he's definitely having somewhat of a field day here in the water, and I'm just trying to see if he's wearing goggles, because if he's not wearing goggles, that's even more impressive. Super impresionante, no tienes las gafas de agua, no tienes las gafas de agua, no tiene goggles puesto. So, uno, posible que pere los goggles, o dos, es un tío tan heavy que no hace falta. Casi medio hombre, medio Hulk, porque para nadar en esta agua sin gafas, y también no es el agua más clara del mundo tampoco. So slowly but surely he's pushing through. Y yo creo que estás ganando también. So mira, sin gafas, sin goggles, ganando el evento. Yo creo que esta vale más puntos. So they're moving through the event. Y veo un poco la current que yo expliqué de antes. La agua no es... Antiguamente el agua parece que no mueve nada, pero hay un poco de current. So it might be perceived as quite flat, but a little bit is happening with the water here. It's not that simple to swim in. So as I alluded to before, this guy doesn't have goggles on. He's doing a fantastic job, and he's creating a lot of space between him and his fellow athletes. The sun is slowly peeking out here. It's really a perfect, you couldn't ask for a better day for fitness. No puede pedir un mejor día para fitness porque la verdad, por los fans, por la gente que están aquí, es un día tremendo. Pushing through now, moving towards the end of the swim for this first athlete. Seguro tienen historia de natación para mantener este ritmo. Seguro, no sé si jugaba waterpolo o nada antiguamente a nivel profesional, pero estás haciendo muy bien. The thing that you notice between the good swimmers and the okay swimmers, the good swimmers just seem to glide through the water. They just seem to have a certain presence and a lack of panic. They just seem so comfortable moving through the water. These fantastic images of Arrecife behind that you can see, it's really something quite spectacular. Muy pocos eventos de fitness como eso, hasta en un lugar tan guapo, y tenemos mucha suerte que el Summer Challenge puede estar aquí en Lanzarote. So, our swimmer, there's a fantastic crowd here, so many people. It started off a bit cold at the start of the day, empieza un poco frío, pero poco a poco hay muy bien clima aquí. Si tengo mi tiempo otra vez, no tengo sudadera puesto porque it's going to be a bit hot. It's going to be a bit hotter later on. We're now moving towards the intermediate females, and they will be starting in about 2 minutes. So in como 2 minutos vamos para empezar femenina intermedios. Después los females intermedios, 9:15 el RX men y luego 9:30 los RX chicas. Y la verdad, la nivel de organización aquí es otra cosa. Muchas veces este tipo de eventos no empiezan en tiempo, pero por hoy tenemos mucha suerte y todo sale genial de momento. You can see the girls getting ready. You can see the girls getting ready for the event, setting up the machines. And also here we can see more men slowly moving towards the end of the swim. They're maintaining a rate. You can tell these swimmers are still doing a fantastic job. Not as smooth as our friend without the goggles. No como el nuestro amigo sin gafas, pero mantener un muy bien ritmo. La cosa que es muy difícil después la natación, que el cuerpo tiene mucho frío. So, para empezar la correr, a veces es difícil para seguir el ritmo que está acostumbrado, porque después el remo, después la natación y luego correr 3.000 metros, parece sencillo, pero la verdad es un poco heavy cuando ponen las tres cosas juntos. Este grupo de los hombres son un poco más juntos. This group of men are a bit more together, and the transition is just so important. In 30, and it's very smooth. We're moving towards, as the men finish the swim, we'll be moving towards in 10 seconds to see our females get going. This will be our intermediate females. In 7 seconds, in 5 seconds, our women will start. You can see our judges there, ready. Y los chicos empezando corriendo. Sí, muy rápido hasta la máquina. Los chicas son muy listas y seguro no quieren empezar demasiado fuerte, quieren mantener el ritmo. La cosa que la vi hoy es no ganar mucho con el remo. Puede perder mucho cosa, pero la cosa es mantener la energía para luego la natación. We have a field super strong today. We have women this women's field is exceptionally strong today. And today no hay masters female, so es un poco de mezcla. So puede estar ahí chicas de todas las edades en esto. So to explain, there's no masters female event this year, so this will be a bit of a mix as well between masters athletes and intermediate. We have so many fans here. Hay tanta gente aquí de todo Canarias. Justo antes yo estaba hablando con 2 ingleses y también gente que viene de Alemania. So hay gente de toda España y toda Europa para disfrutar este evento. La verdad, esta fecha en Europa es el evento más top de functional fitness y de CrossFit aquí en Europa de momento. Estás haciendo muy bien en el remo. Seguro ahora tienes como 400, 500 metros de los chicas, about one third or 1/4 through the event. And you can see our athletes there being super focused, not trying to give too much away for their opponents. I see a little bit of a side eye, just trying to look at the monitor of their competitors, making sure. The thing that's really important here is the smooth transitions, porque la transición es muy importante en eso. Parece un poco como Fórmula 1. Si las transiciones son bien hechas, puedes hacer muy bien las cosas. So los chicas hasta a tope. You can see this is a great example of the transition, feet in and back on the row. So the thing about the feet position is like you want it to be loose enough that you can change with your teammate fast, but you don't want it too loose. If it's too loose, you're gonna lose strength. A lot of these athletes are trying to probably use more legs than they would normally do on the row, just so their arms are a bit more relaxed moving into the component. And there's such a good rhythm here. It's a perfect day. Tienes mucha suerte, un día perfecto aquí. La vida detrás de cada atleta, un juez, y los jueces estás ahí para vigilar cómo van los atletas. And you can see there's a fantastic crowd. All the girls are trying really hard to maintain a rhythm. Again, nothing's going to be won on this row. Nada vamos a ganar en este remo, pero quiere mantener un ritmo antes de transición hasta la mar. And they're just mindful. If you can see, they're just pulling. You can see pushing with the legs so much, and they're just mindful of the swim that's coming up ahead. You can see so many fans here. People have come from all over Europe for this event. And this is just the first event. Later in the day, you're going to be seeing more fans, more people. Ese es el primer evento, es un día muy larga. Solo luego vamos a ver tanta gente estás aquí para animar los atletas. No solo hay familias, hay muchos fans de fitness que vienen aquí para ayudar y para animar el Summer Challenge. El Summer Challenge es un evento más famoso aquí en Lanzarote y también en las Islas Canarias. Y a nivel de España, todo el mundo conozco y por eso tiene tanto reputación. So, en este evento es de CrossFit Lanzarote. CrossFit Lanzarote es uno de los boxes más antiguos en España y por eso, gracias a ellos, tenemos el Summer Challenge. So, as we can see, the transitions, there might be one more transition left. There might be one more transition left per athlete before they get ready for the swimming component. Remember, this is there is no masters females today. They are joined in the intermediate, okay? So that creates a really varied field. We have some really strong partners, and then we have some people who are here to really get the most out of their day. So the ladies will soon be finishing the row, and they'll be moving towards the swimming component. The sun is slowly peeking out, and it really is a fantastic day. I envisage maybe I don't have the times in front of me, but maybe a minute or two. These ladies will be moving towards a swim. And remember, after this, and the girls are moving towards the swim now, slowly but surely. So I need to be really careful because it can be a little bit slippery, as I've alluded to. It can be really slippery. La inspiración de Fede Monrique de este suelo está muy guapo, pero para transiciones de eventos es muy peligroso. So, por esto atletas necesitan mucho cuidado. Ahora los chicas vamos para empezar la natación de 300 metros, 300 meters. La mar parece muy tranquilo, pero la verdad, cuando tú estás ahí dentro, es otra cosa. La imagen ahí, tú veo como bastante sencillo la mar, pero la verdad, ahí hay un poco de corriente, es un poco más difícil cuando está dentro. Casi todos los atletas ahora están en la mar. Almost all the athletes now are in the water, and they will start the swimming component. And they want to support their partners, they want to maintain a rhythm, and they're just working really hard to maintain a rhythm. And this is where the separation will begin. Like all the other divisions before us, the better swimmers will get ahead, and hopefully that will be enough for them to win. And with a lot of the girls y todos los atletas en general, natación no es su fuerza, pero vamos para intentar no gastar mucha energía por aquí. And you can see the fans there, they're really enjoying their day. Gente viene de todas las Islas Canarias, toda España para este evento. La verdad, es uno de los eventos más famosos en España de CrossFit. Ahora todas las chicas están en la mar. Now all the girls are in the water. You can see the socorrista in the canoe. You can see the lifesaver there. Just keep an eye on the athletes. You know, security is one of the most important things for us here. We want to make sure everyone has a good time, but más importante que todo está seguro, que todos están bien para disfrutar el día. Now you can see, as I mentioned before, like from far away, the water looks kind of still, but when you're actually in there, there is a few things going on. And for the swimmers who aren't so used to swimming in open water, they'll definitely feel it a little bit more. So there is separation definitely happening. There is separation definitely happening between the different athletes. And you see we have our socorristas ahí in jet ski, just making sure everyone's safe. So it's a really interesting event, and it's a great way to start off. Remember, there's going to be 4 events today. Hay 4 eventos hoy, hasta 9 de noche. Slowly but surely, they're moving through the swimming component. I think for some of the better swimmers, they're just going to try and create separation. Por algunas más es como sobrevivir en la mar. Y luego empieza la parte de correr. So it really is a fantastic day, real festive atmosphere. Una cosa que hace muy bien aquí en Lanzarote es las fiestas, y el Summer Challenge no es distinto. Es algo que es muy guay. Viene gente de toda España para disfrutar. Ahora está en la mar. Y moving towards the swimming, going forward. It's really, now you can see, I think moving towards our next will be starting in 5 minutes, will be the RX men. They will be the next ones going at 9:15. So far at 8 o'clock we're the scaled men, the scaled females at 8:15, intermediate men, masters. They are probably moving towards the end of their running component now. I can't confirm that officially. And then what we have in 5 minutes will be, in 4 minutes now, will be the RX male. That will be our top male athletes. And at 9:30 will be the top female athletes to finish the day. So as the swimming continues, this will be our masters men, just swimming through the water here. You can see the supreme technique of some of our swimmers making a great effort. So the Summer Challenge has been running now for a number of years. Even during the difficult years of COVID, the Summer Challenge still did happen. And every year it just grows. It grows in participation levels, it grows in level of support, and every year there's more fans coming along to support the event. Now we're just going to have a look at the running images, and we can see men now coming through. This will be men just coming through here. They just want to be careful not to hit the fans as they go through. And you can see these amazing images, you know, after being on the rower, doing a tough open water swim. It's really awesome that they get this opportunity to run back to the island. Now with the swim, now with the running, we're back to the running. We're seeing some of our best athletes of the intermediate and masters coming through, and I'm sure they're happy to see the finish line, but at the same time they'll be really aware that this is the first of 4 events. So I think they'll be trying to conserve their energy as best they can and just try and be as consistent as they can throughout the day. It really is a fantastic event. And there's just so many fans here as well to enjoy the day that are here. So the RX men, they're getting ready to start their rowing component. That will start soon, in more or less about 2 minutes. So far, I've been really fortunate. There's been no delays. Everything's worked like clockwork. Now back to the running. You can see these specimens coming through. Y la verdad, esta gente tiene un ritmo súper fuerte después de remo, natación, para correr así. Ahí atrás veo el Gran Hotel. Es uno de los hoteles más famosos de todo Lanzarote. And it's the only skyscraper. So for a lot of people who've never been here, Lanzarote has really strict building laws, and for whatever reason, they got permission to build that tower, but it's the only one in the whole island that has that height. Really strict building. Anyway, coming back to it, we can see our men coming through. I think a lot of those would be the masters athletes. Now, this images of the swimming. This would be a lot of our ladies coming through. This will be the intermediate ladies, and they'll be trying really hard to just kind of get an advantage on the rest of the field. Remember, for the women, it was 1500 meter swim, 1500 meter row, 300 meter swim, followed by the 3 kilometer run. Now, I think we just saw Truly, athlete from Lanzarote Rugby, actually just go through there. And now we have our girls just slowly coming up. Tenemos nuestras chicas poco a poco empezando la parte de correr. La correr es muy guapo, que pasa por toda la marina, and it's 3,000 metros. We have our men coming, might be just trying to get a place above one of the other athletes, just working hard to finish strong. And so in 10 seconds, we'll be starting our RX. This is our elite level of men. And they'll be going, and you'll see they'll be running towards the rowing machines, getting on there as fast as they can. Nice and smooth, trying to be as strong as they can throughout. And even just in the physiques, you can tell these guys are a little bit stronger than the masters and intermediate athletes. And these guys won't be giving an inch. They'll be working as hard as they can, working to try and create some dominance. Remember, there's heaps of events. There's 4 events today, another 3 tomorrow. So they're going to be working really, really hard. Okay. See. So poco a poco, ahora el RX hombres estás remando. So cada 15 minutos empieza los tandas. So, para explicar, cada 15 minutos empieza todos los tandas. El 9:15, justo ahora, es los hombres RX y después 9:30 para terminar aquí es los chicas. Justo la natación, ahora la Corea, casi fijo es nuestro hombres de Masters que terminando. La mitad de gente ya está terminando, pero muy bien. Los chicos sufren mucho con el remo, 2000 metros, la natación de 300 y luego la Corea. La cosa muy importante que expliqué antes es en la parte de remo, no es la más importante. Este evento la gente siempre gana con la natación y la correa. La cosa importante con el remo es mantener un ritmo con los compis. No, si va muy heavy en el remo, luego seguro vamos a sufrir en la natación y la parte de correa. Eso es intentar mantener un ritmo. Aquí muchos fans, aquí viene gente de todo Canarias y todo España. People have come from all over Spain to enjoy this event. Tú veo ahora mismo nuestros atletas de RX sufriendo, intentando en 10 minutos empieza el RX Females. Y ahora la parte de Corea, the running part, we see athletes finishing towards the end. Poco a poco la gente viene, los fans, pero la vi ahora justo los atletas de Masters intermedio terminando la parte de Corea. Ahora, después de eso, ellos tienen descanso de 2 horas, 2 horas y media, después del próximo evento en la Marina. So we should be about halfway through. Vamos para estar medio la parte de remo. You can see la gente está muy contento para terminar. Los hombres del intermedio súper feliz para terminar la parte de Corea. Después una natación duro y de 3000 metros de Corea. So you can see back, volver para ver la gente de remo. These are RX men, and they will be followed by RX women. And after that, después vamos para natación también. La verdad es un día fantástico aquí. Estos atletas, estás pensando en la natación después fijo y luego la parte de Corea. And you can see the beautiful inspired Fism Enrique design here. para entrenar aquí, pero tengo el evento aquí, la verdad es un lujo. Ese es un lugar muy famoso aquí en Lanzarote y vienen millones la gente todo el año para ver eso. Para nosotros, tienen el privilege que dije en inglés, para este evento estar aquí, la verdad es un lujo. Porque And por esa razón viene tanta gente aquí, porque el Summer Challenge está muy bien montado y viene gente de todo España para disfrutar este evento en un lugar súper guay. Y muy rápido los hombres. And the men now transitioning. Hay una transición, necesita mucho cuidado con esto suelo blanco hacia la natación. Recuerdos, la natación es 300 metros. Ahora vamos a la separación. Todos los hombres más o menos remo parecido, pero la cosa que cambia es la natación. Hay gente que gusta y vamos para mirar la diferencia. Y después la separación quiere mantener este ritmo, duración la corre. Los hombres están bajando. Este es el RX. This is our RX men. Okay? These are our RX men. And these guys have a really long day. Estos hombres tienen un día muy largo y vamos para estar bien. Ahora yo veo desde nuestro propio barco la natación. Y los hombres van adelante. And you can see the difference in level between some of the guys, super keen to get in the water, algunas tienes muchas ganas para estar dentro del agua, y ya. Ahora todos los hombres terminan el remo y está en el agua. Justo en 2 minutos empieza justo en 7 minutos empieza RX Female, okay? Las mujeres empiezan en 7 minutos. Y veo desde estas imágenes la natación está súper guay desde esta perspectiva. Veo los hombres natación. Ahora desde arriba tú veo la diferencia de táctica de natación. Nadie quiere molestar a nadie, pero también hay tácticas, ¿sabes? Si estás atrás de alguna persona que nada bien, ayuda mucho el evento con natación. Y ahora todos los hombres de RX, ahora todos los... Ahora la natación sigue, recuerda, es solo 300 metros, suena como poco, pero cuando tú estás dentro es sufrir estos 300 metros. Tenemos mucha gente que está acostumbrado a natación y hay más gente de pesas, tú sabes, el mundo de CrossFit. Casi todos gusta el clean, el snatch y los pull-ups, pero la cosa de natación cuesta. Pero tú la ves, estos atletas de RX, son muy bien de todo. Y esta gente si es nadar, si es levanta pesas, si es correr, hace la cosa bastante bien. Ahora con un poco más tiempo dentro del agua, tú ves la separación de la gente y la gente que nada un poco mejor, vamos un poco más adelante que la gente que no está acostumbrado. And tú la ves, la gente está intentando la misma, la gente está, so as we say in English, the people are aware who are close to them, but just trying to create a bit of separation and try really hard to move forward with that. And now we're back. Tú la vi ahora mismo, los hombres de RX sale de agua y vamos adelante hasta la natación. Recuerdos, es un correr de 3.000 metros, 3 kilómetros, después de 300 metros de natación. Yep.
Dentro. Dentro, Jesús, perdón, tengo un problema de audio, ¿vale? Te tengo a ti, ¿vale?
One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Yep, and we're back. So we can see with our images here and our RX ladies are starting on the rower. So recuerdos, para las mujeres es 1500 metros de remo, luego 300 metros de natación y 3 kilómetros de correr. So slowly but surely, the ladies are starting on the rower, similar to the men before. Parecido a los hombres de antes, quieren mantener un ritmo. So las imágenes ahora aquí, hay chicas que justo terminado, muy cansado después la parte de Ahora estamos aquí, el remo de mujeres RX. Recuerdo, si justo llega, los chicos vamos para remar 1500 metros, después natación de 300 y luego corre 3000 metros. Aquí tienes algunos de los mejores atletas en no solo España, en Europa, compitiendo aquí en el Summer Challenge. Los eventos hoy empezó a las 8 y ahora esa es la última. Sí. So it's fantastic. The girls will slowly be finishing the rowing. Las chicas poco a poco vamos para terminar el remo y después empieza la natación de 300 metros. Se nota mucho más calor ahora. Cuando empezó a las 8, está un poco frío, un poco fresco, pero justo ahora, casi 9:30, solo 1 hora y media después, hay bastante más calor. Y seguro los atletas está un poco de ventaja, yo creo, para empezar un poco más pronto, pero seguro ahora empieza un poco más. Justo ahora los chicas intentando mantener un ritmo y como toda la gente hoy en el remo, el ritmo es algo muy parecido, muy parecido. Ahora la primera chica termina el remo y bajando para empezar la parte de correr. La parte de natación, perdona. Recuerdo, es 300 metros de natación, las chicas con mucho cuidado cuando bajando la escalera, porque es muy guapo la cosa blanco de César Manrique, pero no es bien para caminar ni menos correr. So ahora yo creo casi todas las chicas están bajando, empezando la natación. La natación es 300 metros, con cuidado, bajando todos. The swim is 300 meters, followed by 3-kilometer run. Tenemos gente aquí de toda Europa compitiendo por el Summer Challenge. Las chicas aquí, seguro algunas nadan muy bien, tienen mucha experiencia de natación, algunas cuesta un poco más, pero la cosa muy importante por todos estos atletas es un día muy largo, mañana también. Hay más que 7 eventos y si hay tantos eventos necesita estar bastante fresco. So you can see now as the ladies enter in the water, slowly moving forward, some of them more keen than others. Ahora bajando las chicas, algunas con más ganas que otros para la parte de natación, pero es muy normal. Este evento tiene mucha seguridad, hay socorristas a todos los lados, por eso quiere que toda la gente pase el día bien, pero más que eso, que todos están muy seguros. La natación sigue adelante. Una mañana genial aquí en Arrecife, la gente pasa muy bien y los atletas el primero de sufrir, empezando de sufrir y tienes un día muy largo por ellos pero con muchas ganas, fijo. So this is the first event of 4 today. We'll probably be finishing about 7, well very late actually. The last event starts at 7:30 but finishes about 10:30 at night. La vi ahora. Las imágenes súper guapos desde nuestro barco, las chicas están nadando, es solo 300 metros, pero algunas de estas imágenes pues veo más claro que el agua no es como una piscina, esta agua es bastante más difícil para nadar. Algunas tienen mucha experiencia en este tipo de agua, algunas no tanto. So slowly but surely, our athletes moving through the water. Y estás haciendo muy bien. And this, as I mentioned, this is the last of the events today at this location. So they're going to try really hard to finish strong. And it's just been a great day out so far. Recuerdos, hay 4 eventos hoy, ese es el primero de 4. Después de eso, nosotros vamos a la marina y empieza la transmisión sobre 12 a 12 y media. Y la gente va. Ahora las chicas de RX, algunas van un poco más adelante que el resto, creciendo un poco de separación. Como yo dije antes, la diferencia en este evento puede estar muy bien de remo, puede estar bien de remo, pero el remo no es la cosa importante. La cosa importante es si sabes nadar bien o si tienes mucha experiencia en el agua, es algo que no tiene precio en este evento. Porque luego la Corea puede estar entre 10, 15, 20 segundos de diferencia, pero es la natación que separación de gente. ¿Quieres que? Sí, ahora tú veo los hombres de RX terminando y un efecto super de ellos. Y ese es el primer evento de 4 hoy. Y estos chicos ahora terminando. Más gente, no sé qué plaza, I'm not sure what their placing is, but this is our RX men finishing the running component. ¿Recuerdas este evento? The event was por los hombres 2 kilómetros remo, 1500 las mujeres, 300 natación los dos y 3 kilómetros de Corea. Ahora nuestro mejor chicas, at the momento de natación, vamos para terminar. Es un evento genial aquí, no puede condiciones mejor para empezar la evento. Para empezar una semana super guay, no puede estar un primer evento mejor. We have our first lady of RX finishing the swim. Tenemos nuestra primera mujer terminando la parte de natación. We have more of our men finishing from RX now, and you can see they're a bit more clustered now as they finish, with the majority of the men now coming through. Unsure on placings, but we'll get that to you as quick as we can. What can sometimes seem quite easy on paper, as we know, it's not always like that. A veces este evento, cuando veo un papel, parece un poco sencillo, pero tú sabes, si vemos fuerte, luego la natación y después el correr, es otra cosa, es una cosa muy distinto. With our ladies now moving through with the top performers already out of the water, we now have middle of the pack. Ahora con algunas de las mujeres está fuera de agua, ahora viene más gente, ahí estás. And we have more ladies coming out of the water. Tenemos más mujeres fuera de agua y también tenemos los hombres de RX terminando la parte de Corea. Recuerdos, a 12:30 empieza la próximo evento. El evento es solo 12 minutos. Es 8 rondas de 10 ground overhead, 10 handstand push-up and 10 pull-ups for scaled. Y la única cosa que cambia más es los pull-ups. Hay chest to bar y hay muscle-ups por los atletas. Y sigue las imágenes aquí de natación, las mujeres de RX, the women of RX coming through. Veo muy guapo ahí, el hotel ahí atrás y las imágenes súper guapo. Tenemos mucha suerte de estas imágenes desde nuestro propio barco. Y ahora los fans ahí mirando la gente terminando la parte de Corea. Y más gente de RX, estás terminando. Poco a poco viene más gente. So it's been a tremendous morning so far. Una mañana espectacular, que dije en inglés, y pasando muy bien la gente. Más atletas pasando ahora de RX y ellos pasando ahora de Corea. And with now with our ladies finishing the swim, ahora tenemos las chicas terminando la natación poco a poco. Las chicas de RX terminando la parte de natación. Recuerdos después de natación, ellos tienen 3 kilómetros de correr, la misma distancia para mujeres y hombres. La única cosa que es distinto de este evento es el remo, las mujeres 1500 y los hombres 2000. Y un día espectacular, casi todos los hombres de RX ya han terminado. En Lanzarote, el Sports Destination, tenemos mucha suerte, el Summer Challenge, estás aquí en Arrecife. All the island, the whole island is behind it, animando que el evento va super guay, como los años previos y cada año más y mejor. Poco a poco los últimos de chicas de RX vamos a terminar la natación y desde su pantalla parece sencillo, pero no es. Después un remo muy duro, natación de 300 y correr de 3 kilómetros es algo que no es sencillo. Y la verdad, algo que en papel parece una cosa, la verdad, los atletas sufren bastante. ¿Eh? The people, or the athletes competing, definitely felt that. And as I mentioned before, it is a long day. There's a lot of events, and they'll be mindful of that. They'll be aware that there's more things ahead, and they just want to make sure they've got the energy. La cosa que justo ahora dije en inglés es como es un día muy largo, hay muchos eventos y estos chicos y chicas son listos y sabes que es un evento de muchos y quiere que estar tranquilo para tener energía para los próximos WODs que vienen, los workouts que está adelante. Los fans ahora estás ahí esperando los RX females. Fácil 500 personas aquí para ver este evento y seguro hay más gente por los próximos eventos porque la verdad empieza muy pronto hoy. So gracias a los fans que levantan pronto para ver este evento. Y en poco tiempo seguro llegan los primeros de chicas RX. Definitely coming soon will be our first females from the RX.
Ahí lo desconectó y también vale.
And these images, we're just waiting now for the ladies to come through. It should be any moment now, the first ones coming through after the swim. And remember, it's a 3 kilometer run. I mentioned before, such a good turnout. You know, a lot of people have come just for this weekend to support it. Hay mucha gente aquí, no solo los atletas, pero muchas familias y también gente, fans de fitness, viene aquí a Lanzarote para ver este evento. Porque cada año tiene más fama, tiene más ganas la gente por la evento va más famoso en nivel no solo Canarias, no solo España, pero nivel Europa y global. Y esa es la razón que tenemos esta en English y Spanish, porque hay tanta gente que veo esta de otros países y ellos no hablan español. So por eso, we're doing this in English. Evidente, tiene sus cosas cuando está en dos idiomas, pero para nosotros es super cool intentar algo nuevo, algo que beneficio de todos.
Ahora tenemos este video del bar, que viene Jairo ahí ya.
And we can see the fans just coming through, supporting. We're waiting for our first RX female to finish. Está esperando el primero RX de chicas para terminar. Una mañana tremendo, la verdad. Veo tantos atletas sufrir, tanta ambición por la mañana y seguro mucho más para todo el día en este stream. Or stream, as we say in English. And we can see we're just waiting anticipation for the female RX athletes to finish. Y la verdad es un fin de semana de festivo. Gente viene de toda España, toda Europa para disfrutar este evento. So por eso la mañana no hay tanta gente, pero luego por la tarde seguro vienen mucho más fans para disfrutar todo fin de semana. So typically, it was very early start this morning. I should know, I was one of the ones starting. But slowly but surely throughout the day, there's going to be more fans, more people coming to support such a great event. The next event, la próxima evento es 12:30 en la Marina. Es un AMRAP de 12 minutos. Hay movimientos de ground to overhead, handstand push-up, and variaciones de pull-up, chest to bar, depende de nivel de intermedio, de RX y los varios disciplinas de gimnásticas. La cosa es, 12 minutos es bastante corto, so para terminar estas rondas, yo creo que, bueno, me gusta si la gente termina, pero yo creo que es hasta que llegan a los parejas. Y justo está esperando ahora los RX females para terminar. La verdad, una mañana perfecto aquí en Arrecife. Un poco de viento, pero justo para no hay tanto calor. Seguro luego cuando llega el mediodía hay mucho calor, pero de momento está perfecto para estos atletas y por los fans también. And we're just getting ready here for the IRX women to come through. So, todos los eventos terminan menos la RX de chicas, de females. Y por la mañana hay tanto ganas para empezar. Y la vi la gente sufrir en la parte de remo, pero mantener un ritmo, porque luego la cosa más importante es la natación. Y la verdad, la diferencia de atleta 1 y atleta quinto, por ejemplo, es la natación. La core influye un poco, pero más que nada la natación. What I was just saying, the big difference today has been the swimming component. No one won or lost this workout in the row, but it was the swim that was a big difference. Eagerly anticipating the ladies coming through. Ahora está esperando los chicas para pasar. La vi este lugar por un día para disfrutar el día es perfecto. Por un evento de CrossFit o de fitness, mejor todavía. Viene gente de no solo todas las Canarias, viene gente de Península y también yo hablando con un alemán y gente inglés también estás aquí para disfrutar un día a tope. And now we have our ladies coming through. We'll be seeing first place in a moment. They just want to make sure. Ahora vamos a las chicas RX y la primera vamos para terminar ahí y fantástico. Y la verdad, la tempo de ella no está muy atrás de los hombres. Muy bien. El ritmo de mujeres de hoy en día está amazing, we'd say in English. And now we have coming through our number 2 female on the run. Ahora viene las chicas la plaza 2 y 3 para terminar la parte de Corea. Y hablando con los atletas, hoy la cosa que sufrí más fue la natación, después el remo con la corazón tan abierta, tan arriba, perdona, y luego la Corea. Y tú la vi las imágenes ahora, los chicas de RX que terminaron primeros, un mega fuerza de ellos. Ahora está esperando, so we've had first and second place finish on the females. We're now just going to see who comes in at third, fourth and fifth place. Y recuerdas este tipo de eventos de CrossFit, muchas veces la gente que gana la fin de semana no es la gente que gana el evento. So as I was just saying, typically the people who finish better in these events, it's not about winning the event, it's about being somewhere close to the top. So often someone can finish third, fourth, fifth and never actually win an event, and it can be very beneficial for them and end up winning the whole weekend. Ahora pasando, mira, ahora tenemos la tercera. Now we have more of the middle of the pack. Ahora tenemos las chicas que pasan por más o menos halfway through the field, medio plaza, pero la verdad, un mega fuerza de ellas para terminar. Y ellas, sabes, es un fin de semana muy larga, y ese es el primer evento de muchos. So, seguro los ganas, las expectativas sigue, y ellos just solo quieren mantener este ritmo durante todo el fin de semana. They just want to maintain this rhythm throughout the whole weekend. We have more people finishing. Fantastic. Now moving through the field, they're very quick to congratulate each other, muy rápido para hablar con sus compis de eso. Toda esta gente de competición conozco el otros. We have more athletes coming through now. Estás corriendo por la Marina y por Arrecife. And es muy guapo aquí cerca de Playa Reductor. Es un playa súper tranquilo. Y ahora más gente terminando ahí. So they're doing a fantastic job. Ahora ellos tienen 2 horas de descanso hasta el próximo evento. Como yo expliqué antes, el próximo evento está en la Marina. Empieza como 12:30. Es un AMRAP de 12 minutos. Suena fácil, pero no es. Tienes, sí, recuerdos de memoria. If I can remember, they have 10 ground to overhead. So ground to overhead significa 2 cosas. Si eres súper fuerte, puedes hacer snatch, es más rápido, pero mucha gente hace el clean y jerk solo porque es más fácil para controlar. Luego 10 handstand push-up y 10 pull-ups. Y los divisiones, la cosa que cambia, evidentemente, es la pesa en la barra y también los movimientos. Hay pull-ups, hay chest to bar, que significa el pecho necesita estar encima de la barra, o muscle-ups. And we have more people finishing now. Tenemos más gente terminando después este evento, que no parece tan duro, pero siempre es. Cuando hay eventos tan metabólicos, por un palabra fácil, cardio, muchas veces los atletas de CrossFit están muy bien, como yo dije, de pesas, la barra, de gimnásticas, pero cuesta un poco más la parte de cardio, la parte de correr. Pero la cosa es, estás buscando la gente en más forma física, y forma física no es solo pesas, no es solo pull-ups, o no solo gimnásticas, es de todo. Y si eres de todo, necesitas estar bien de natación, la correr y también el remo. So, ese es el día con este evento. Muy bien. Tenemos más gente terminando ahora. Y poco a poco y veo la gente pasando por las calles, por Arrecife, ahí cerca del Playa Reductor, enfrente de la Grand Hotel. Y está muy guay para ver la gente de Arrecife animando a los atletas cuando pases. Bien. Y ahora tenemos no sé cuánto, but we've almost finished with our RX female athletes. We have a few still running, a few who are still passing. Y la cosa muy importante, chicos, si quieres ver dónde está la gente, la clasificación, está en la página de web de Summer Challenge. So just to explain that in English, if you want to see the classifications, obviously we're giving you fantastic images. Tú tienes imágenes super guays, pero si quieres saber dónde está tu amigo, tu friend, tu sobrino, tu primo, es mejor ver en la página web para saber qué es la plaza, dónde está en la página de web, para saber dónde está tu colega. So to explain, if you just want to know where the placing of everybody, go to the official website and that will have the most clarity. We're trying really hard to give you images indirect. Estás trabajando muy duro para imágenes en directo, pero los plazas donde terminar, todo eso desde la página de web. And we're at the point now, estamos en el punto de gente terminando. Casi todos los atletas terminando este primer reto y la verdad, después de natación, correr 3 kilómetros, porque para correr 3 kilómetros después de una natación mar abierta es algo que cuesta. Es algo que cuesta más que pensar porque la corazón estás haciendo una cosa, luego está fría, por eso. Está súper guapo esta playa de Reducto. Es una de las cosas más guay de Arrecife. Ahora veo muy tranquilo. Antiguamente donde nadaban los atletas, un poco otra cosa. Pero está súper guapo, tienes la ciudad, puesto la playa y todo el día veo gente ahí. Y estás ahora casi todos terminado. We're waiting for 1 or 2 more athletes to finish. Again, the swimming, the running, also after the rowing. It's something that is really, really tough on the body. Not as much as you would think, but again, there's another 3 events today, another 3 events tomorrow. So la cosa es, el evento vamos para terminar justo ahora, a las 12:30, empieza en la marina. La próximo evento, que es un AMRAP de 12 minutos. Y es el evento que tengo justo ahora y no quiero dije la información incorrecta. La evento es 10 ground to overhead, puede ser clean and jerk, puede ser snatch, luego 10 handstand push-ups y 10 pull-ups por gente en masters o intermedio, chest to bar, y la gente de RX, 10 muscle up. No suena mucho, pero 8 rondas, 10 muscle-ups, esos 80 muscle-ups, quema, ¿eh? Y tenemos los últimos 2 chicas terminando ahora la natación y de correr y la remo, y muy bien ellas. Seguro cuesta un poco este evento, pero es un mega fuerza para terminar este evento. No solo para terminar este evento en Summer Challenge, pero para terminar este evento en RX es súper duro. Son muy bien por ellas. Ya nosotros terminado la World 1. We have finished the first workout. The next one will start, as I mentioned before, will start at 12:30. That will be la segundo entrenamiento, a time cap of 12 minutos. 8 rondas, I go, you go, trabajo un persona, luego el compi, 10 ground to overhead, 10 handstand push-up, y depende del nivel, pull-up, muscle-up y chest to bar. Y solo faltas tú con nosotros 12:30 para el próximo evento aquí en la Summer Challenge. Y justo ahora en la pantalla tú tienes cómo funcionan los WODs y los tempos. WOD 2, 12:30 hasta 3:45. WOD 3, 4:10 hasta 6:20. Y la última, 7:30 hasta 10:30. So these are the 3 workouts that are to come. They're going to be so fun. Vamos a estar fantástico. Y solo faltas tú con nosotros.
Mano de Santo presenta tu cabeza, tu cuerpo. Tu cabeza puede, tu cuerpo no. Tu cabeza da, tu cuerpo no. Ay que puedo, no. Ay que sí, no. Pues va a ser que no. Del cansancio se sale. Prueba Mano de Santo. Te recupera del deporte o de lo que sea.